A road blockade at the Canadian-U.S. border could cause problems for your Sunday plans. A new online safety program in Norman can keep you web aware, and there's an addition to the Oklahoma Memorial Union. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Kaleigh Tingelstad.
And I'm Audrey Goodson. We begin with a big bottleneck on an international bridge into the U.S. from Canada.
A group of Western Canadian truck drivers, known as the Freedom Convoy, are protesting Canada's COVID restrictions and vaccine mandates by blocking the bridge.
CNN's John Lawrence has the latest.
Every hour this protest continues, our community hurts.
Traffic snarled for miles along the U.S.-Canada border in Michigan Wednesday after Freedom Convoy protesters blocked roadways near the Ambassador Bridge, shutting down the busiest international crossing in North America.
The Ambassador Bridge is Canada's busiest link to the United States and accounts for about 25% of trade between the two countries. And so the blockade poses a risk to supply chains for the auto industry because the bridge is a key conduit for motor vehicles, components and parts, and delays risk disrupting auto production.
Protesters also blocked off the border between Montana and Alberta with tractor trailers, farm tractors, and passenger vehicles.
When protesters threaten public safety, disrupt the public peace, or prevent Albertans from accessing vital infrastructure, then they open themselves up to potential action from law enforcement. We believe that the Coots blockade has crossed this line.
Officials say the blockades not only hurt the economy, but also the livelihoods of hardworking people.
All it does is inconvenience thousands of law-abiding truckers who are just trying to make a living, who now have to go to one of the three other ports of entry between Alberta and Montana. It does economic damage, in this case particularly for ranchers, farmers, and agri-food producers.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The Department of Homeland Security says it's picking up online chatter that these protests could soon begin in the U.S. and potentially impact the Super Bowl.
And with virtual learning now being more popular than ever, a local nonprofit is promoting online safety for schools. OU Nightly's Carly Murray has more on how the program teaches students to be web aware.
Mary Abbott's Children's House is a child advocacy center assisting kids experiencing abuse and neglect. The Children's House has created the Alert program to teach kids about online safety. While there are organizations in the Norman area teaching children about this, the Children's House is focusing on grades 6 through 12.
There's nobody out there teaching online safety to kids in schools. And so our program will actually go into the schools, typically with a student resource officer, the police officers that are in schools. They'll go in there and they will present the Monique Burr curriculum.
The curriculum is tailored to different age groups. For example, a 12th grader's curriculum will not be the same as a 6th grader's. With the pandemic causing a shift to virtual learning, the Children's House took the initiative to redirect what students are using screen time for.
The average screen time for a student is about 10 hours a day, is through research. That is a lot. And so we're just seeing the need that kids need to be prepared for what is out there.
In 2019, the child welfare system in Norman had 50 substantiated cases of child exploitation and child pornography. The goal of the Alert program is to avoid, learn, react, and tell while being online.
Actually having them do some critical thinking while they're in those apps rather than just, taking pictures and posting. We're wanting them to really think about what they're doing.
The program is hoping its launch will attract schools to keep their students safe.
This month, you can expect to see alert billboards, public service campaigns, and radio ads across Norman.
President Biden is still optimistic as inflation causes prices to rise across the country. Jayden Brannon has that story and the rest of today's headlines from around the world.
Thanks, Kaleigh. As tensions continue to rise on the Russia-Ukraine border, Russia claims there is no plan of invasion. Russia currently has heavy military equipment and over 100,000 troops stationed on the border. The Russian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sergei Lavrov, has stated that Russia is not going to invade Ukraine. But the UK Foreign Minister believes the troops and equipment are in place to threaten Ukraine.
It's vitally important that the UK and its NATO allies are prepared for all eventualities.
Truss wants to see actions that follow Lavrov's claims. Inflation has caused some necessities to rise faster than they have in 4 decades. This includes groceries, cars, houses, healthcare, and more. President Biden remains optimistic that the numbers are going to ease up by the end of the year.
I'm going to work like the devil to bring gas prices down, which I'm going to working to make sure that we keep strengthening the supply chain to bring the cost of energy.
The price inflation index has risen 7.5%, the most rapid climb since 1982. India has eased its COVID-19 international travel restrictions. India enforced guidelines late last year as the Omicron variant began to surge around the world. The new guidelines went into effect today, stating that international passengers just need to self-monitor for 14 days after their arrival. India will also accept full vaccination status from travelers rather than needing to have a negative test result. This comes after the country has seen a decline in daily reported cases. And an overnight museum security guard in Russia is being prosecuted after saying he was bored and doodled on a $1 million avant-garde painting. Audrey, Kaleigh, back to you.
Thanks, Jayden. COVID numbers are still high but are slowly on the decline. The number of new cases is approximately 2,500. Active cases are around 34,000 and about 13,800 COVID deaths have been reported.
Well, Kaleigh, this time last week, I was bundled up in my snow coat and boots.
Me too, but today I was able to walk around in a t-shirt. Brady, how long should we expect this warmer weather?
Well, you might want to enjoy it while it lasts, because even though it's 62 right now, sunny skies, great day today, but we are looking at a cold front moving through that is going to bring these temperatures down all the way below freezing heading into the weekend. So even though we're warm and sunny right now, we do have a slightly colder weekend ahead that going into the weekend, going to get very chilly, and also looking ahead into the next week, some rain showers coming in to help alleviate this fire threat. We'll see you again in full weather.
Thanks, Brady. If you need a cup of joe before your next class, you're in luck.
One major company is upgrading right here on campus.
Plus, if you've noticed your lymph nodes swelling following the COVID vaccine,
doctors say not to miss an important checkup. Find out which one ahead on OU Nightly.
Great news for coffee lovers on campus. A new Starbucks is set to open in the Union. OU Nightly's Ben Thomas has the story.
Starbucks has been providing beverages and food options to students in the Union for years. But the Coffee Giant's new student union location should give students a more enjoyable experience while they sip their cup of Java.
There's a lot more room for people to go in, and it's not so crammed together. The line's not going to be going out through the hall.
Now students are eagerly awaiting the new and bigger location that will be opening soon just down the hallway from its old location right here in the Union, adding more spots for students to meet, study, and collaborate.
Personally, I'm very excited and about the community aspect that the bigger Starbucks will be bringing to campus. I think that it's a great opportunity to meet with more people.
Starbucks fans and the OU community see the opening of this new location being beneficial for students on campus.
I think it's going to be very beneficial, just being a bigger space for a lot of students to be able to not just get, the beverages like this, but have that space to be able to lounge, relax. It's always good for a college campus.
An opening day has not been set. The new Starbucks is still being stocked. But soon this semester, OU students will be able to consume coffee in comfort. Ben Thomas, OU Nightly.
The original location is still open for regular hours through the end of this week.
A yearly mammogram routine is routine for most women over 40, but some say they put it off for a reason. Ashley Velde tells us why they shouldn't in today's Health Beat. Ashley.
A new study suggests not postponing your mammogram because of the COVID-19 vaccine. Some doctors have recommended delaying the procedure, but others have not. In the study, mammograms registered swollen lymph nodes on about 540 women who recently got their COVID-19 vaccine. According to the study published in the Journal of Radiology, swollen lymph nodes were most common in the first 2 weeks after vaccination, but they could persist for up to 10 months. The Stephenson Cancer Center and OU Health are bringing their mobile mammogram van to the Lloyd Noble Center this Friday. And the CDC plans to roll out 10 million COVID-19 doses for children under 5 pending FDA emergency use authorization. The FDA's Vaccine Advisory Committee will meet next week to go over trial data and make a recommendation. The rollout is expected to mimic the October release of the shot for children ages 5 to 11. There are 18 million children who are potentially eligible for vaccination. And in another move by the CDC, it is revisiting its guidance on opioid prescriptions. The CDC last issued new guidance in 2016, taking a hard stance in response to an increasing number of fatal overdoses. The new guidelines suggest doctors use more judgment over adhering to rigid requirements. Many complain those rules caused pain to people who needed the drugs, like cancer patients. The CDC continues to encourage doctors to consider other pain management techniques. Finally, the Academy Awards will not require proof of vaccination to attend the ceremony on March 27th, but a negative COVID test will be necessary. Audrey and Kaleigh, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Ashley. One campus organization is making sure all students have a safe and healthy Valentine's week.
Find out what events are taking place on campus.
And it's been awfully dry the last few weeks. My skin is definitely feeling it. Brady, are we going to be seeing any moisture anytime soon?
Not anytime soon. We are going to see lower temperatures heading into the weekend, but coming up next week, there is a potential for rain. I got that all coming up in full weather. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Brady Blackstock. Take a look at these conditions out here. This is a live shot of downtown Oklahoma City. Clear skies, warm temperatures, currently sitting at 59. Winds coming from the northwest at 7. Low dew point, pretty dry out there. And if we'll take a look over throughout the rest of the state, we see that it's more the same all around. We got 60s, low 60s here in the metro and down in Norman, 68 down in Idabel, and high 50s up in the northern part of the state. And because of those warmer temperatures, we still have an elevated fire risk throughout most of the state, which should be reduced a little bit heading into the weekend. As you see in the country, we have this cold front that's moving in from Kansas on Friday morning into Saturday morning. It will push through, and it is going to move through fairly quickly through the state of Oklahoma, but I'm going to take a closer look into the state to see that these temperatures are going to drop throughout the day on Friday, heading into Saturday. And then the most important thing is you see we're going to have these freezing temperatures overnight, Friday into Saturday. You're going to want to drip those faucets. I know you dripped them all last week. Just one more night, Friday night, just to make sure those pipes don't burst as we head back into a warming trend going into the weekend. And more importantly, the big game coming up on Sunday. Great temperatures if you want to go grill outside, want to sit out on the patio, watch the game with friends. It's a perfect day to do it. We're looking at highs in the 50s, winds out of the northeast 5 to 10. Great on Sunday to go into it. And let's go ahead and look into the 7-day forecast. Friday, again, it's going to be nice. Sunny skies warming up, but then that cold front heading into Saturday, and more importantly, right down there below freezing temperatures. Going to want to drip those faucets overnight, but then it's going to warm up throughout the rest of the week. But then we do have these rain chances at the end of the week. And I'm going to go ahead and send it back to Kaleigh at the desk.
Thanks, Brady. OU's Gender Inequality Center looks to cap off its Queer Love Week tonight in the Walker Storm Shelter. During the week leading up to Valentine's Day, the center and OU Health Services have paired up to support expressions of love in all relationships, regardless of orientation. The group held several events this week, including various seminars and a photo shoot at the OU Love Sign.
Just highlighting that no matter how you identify, within the community, that your love is valid, your identity is valid, the way you express love is valid.
Tonight's program is Sexpert Queer Sex Ed and will take place in the Walker Storm Shelter at 7 p.m.
Well, Kaleigh, I heard men's basketball pulled off a massive upset last night.
Liv, tell us more about that Sooner win.
That's right. It was a great night for the men's basketball team when they defeated number 9 ranked Texas Tech. Spring sports are back in action, and the OU softball team kicks off their season today. Sports is next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. My name's Liv Walbeck, and it's time for sports. The OU men's basketball team beat number 9 ranked Texas Tech 70-55 last night here in Norman. Senior guard Umoja Gibson carried the team with a total of 30 points and back-to-back threes. While his offense was stellar, Porter Moser highlighted his defense as well.
It's huge. I mean, you know what I love about Mo? He was 0 for 6 at Oklahoma State, and he took it to heart. I thought Mo's defense was very good tonight. I know he had 30, but I thought he played really good defense. He played 36 minutes. He had to play some point guard. He had to guard bigger guys. Everybody was 6'6" or bigger, it seemed like. I thought he had a great defensive game.
It's that time of the year again, and softball season is in full swing. The reigning champions are starting their season off in sunny Santa Barbara playing UCSB. And senior Jocelyn Allo is back at the plate to break records. She only needs 8 more home runs until she beats former OU player Lauren Chamberlain's record of 95 career homers. This weekend, the women's tennis team is taking on the ITA National Indoors in Madison, Wisconsin. Ranked at number 8, this is the team's highest ranking in program history. Sister duo Carmen and Ivana Corley are 6-1 this season, with 2 wins against ranked pairs. Should the team advance, they'll face off against the winner of top seed USC and Texas in the quarterfinals. And we all know how the OU women's gymnastics team absolutely dominates. Currently ranked at number 2, they've posted 54 scores of 9.9 or higher in just 4 weeks. They close out with a 3-meet homestand against George Washington this weekend. As the NBA trade deadline is passed, major moves have been made. The 76ers shake things up by welcoming James Harden and sending Ben Simmons to Brooklyn. And over with the Mavs, they said goodbye to Kristaps Porzingis in exchange for Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans from the Washington Wizards. The Thunder had a tough loss last night against the Toronto Raptors. Teo Maledon and Poku led the way, both scoring 18 points, but it wasn't good enough to take the dub. They take on the 76ers tomorrow at 6 p.m. And let's not forget about Super Bowl Sunday this weekend with the Rams facing off against the Bengals. Audrey and Kaleigh, how are you prepping for the weekend?
Well, I'm definitely excited. Thanks, Liv. I'm going to be busy watching the Super Bowl this weekend, and with that right around the corner, if you need a new big screen to watch the game on, now could be the perfect time to buy.
Why you could see some of the biggest price drops of the year this weekend. Straight ahead on OU Nightly.
I'm Harry Robinson at the OU Nightly Update Desk. President Biden has slammed the Florida bill that would ban discussion of sexual orientation in elementary schools. Biden branded the bill as hateful and vowed to continue to fight for the LGBTQ community. The bill, dubbed the Don't Say Gay bill by activists, has been argued to stigmatize LGBTQ people, while supporters claim it's about protecting parental rights. Back to you in the studio.
Well, if you're thinking about splurging on a new TV, don't wait until Black Friday. Some of the best deals are going on this weekend.
And what better way to watch the Super Bowl than on a brand new TV? One consumer analyst says buyers can expect up to 20 to 30% off.
Why? She says new TV models typically come in around March or April and are moving old models out for new ones.
And speaking of the Super Bowl, Brady, do you think we can have an outdoor watch party?
Oh, absolutely. We can have an outdoor watch party. Even though this weekend we're going to see a cool down heading into Saturday, dipping down into below freezing territory. Looking at Sunday, it's going to be up to 62. Perfect for an outdoor watch party. I might be buying one of those big screens myself and setting it up outside to get into that big game. And if you look into the rest of the week, there's going to be rain potentially in the middle of next week, but don't worry about that because it's going to warm right back up and be great looking for Sunday.
Kaleigh, who do you think is going to win the big game on Sunday?
You know, I'm going to have to go with the Rams. Love Joe Burrow, but I think the Rams deserve it this year.
I think the Bengals are going to win, but I don't really care. I just am excited about all the Super Bowl food.
Oh, I love the food. That's one of my favorite parts besides the actual game, I'll have to say.
Ready to eat some nachos and pizza.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, thanks for watching OU Nightly. We'll keep bringing you the latest news. Tune in tomorrow live at 4:30.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great Thursday. Good night.